Eddie Clone, EC Details, back with an episode, and this is Bev. This is Bev. She says she's relaxing, but here's where I'm at. So I am on my lunch break. I got this car I'm working on. I kind of got, there's a lot of work to do on the car, so I'm gonna wash it. I was gonna do like this whole hybrid wash concept for this one. And I was like, oh, which one do I have to do? And you're like, Eddie, you're so low energy right now. I only had 3 hours of sleep, so I'm freaking tired. But let me show you this. Let me show you this car. It's a brand new Toyota Supra, and my Lord, is it sexy. Look, nice car. It's brand new, and the sir who has it actually details his own stuff. So I'm gonna get him a nice care package of products, but it looks absolutely amazing. This car is getting like our total package, platinum. What's that mean? Platinum package, what's that mean? It just means that we're gonna give him coatings for everything. But you know what? Can't give up because you're tired. Look, when you're tired, you gotta dig deep, okay? None of this crybaby la nonsense. When you're sleepy, bills still have to get paid. You know what I'm trying to say? So what I'm gonna do is, we're gonna keep going. I am going to pick Ammo NYC as my hybrid wash for this car. You're like, how in the world are you doing that? Watch me. All right, so let's talk about what I have here. I have frothy in here, already diluted. We have the anti-salt boost. We have foam cleanser. That by definition, per the instructions in the back, this will make it that decon soap. It asks for 2 squeezes. 1, 2, I just put 3 in there. 3, that's how it looks like in there. Then it wants cleanser. Cleanser says a couple squeezes too. So 1, 2, 3 big squeezes. That's what it looks like. We have Brute, requires 3 squeezes inside of here. So I'm gonna take my bad boy here. I'm gonna 1, 2, 3. And then I'm gonna take that same dilution. You know what? I could just use this too. What people don't understand is this right here, I can use this pre-wash, but something's telling me just to use this. Not sure how this reacts to any type of PPF or type of film on top of the car. So once that's done, let's put that on, that twist. We got this here for the tire. Man down. Here's what I don't want to happen, right? I use Brute, something happens to the PPF and I'm liable for it. So I'm gonna use what I feel comfortable doing. You do what you wanna do, but and then we'll hit it with frothy as the contact wash. Let's get these wheels done, huh? What do you think? So the wheels, I would say scale 1 to 10, they're probably like a 4 dirty. I don't wanna use Obey glass. We're gonna take, before anything, you want to spray these wheels off based on what the bottle says. So spray that off. Get that in. Hit it with foam again. Want to go in with a soft brush here, okay, kids? Because I do not want to mess his stuff up. And then we'll start cleaning the tire. Got the new rag company woolly here. Stick that in its thing and then go in and start grabbing the spokes. the tires, we'll come back, we'll foam the car on, we'll start a contact wash. But that's how I would do it with Ammo. It gets the tire real clean. If you need something for the front, you can use an iron remover and blend it, doesn't matter. But Plum has that stuff to break down brake dust. All right, so we finished the wheels. Now we're gonna just foam on the car. Again, it's weird because look what the soap is doing. It's not even blending. Look, we'll see what happens. It looks like it's all at the bottom of the foam cannon, and that is real weird to me. Shake that up a bit. You can see how it's sliding. That's crazy. We're gonna foam out the whole car. We're gonna let it sit. We're gonna break the things down, break the dirt down. We're gonna spray it off. We'll go in with our contact wash with frothy. Dirt down is doing a good job. Sticking, but it's sticking and pulling, which I can appreciate. Be very careful and do the best possible wash process for his car. There's a problem we're gonna have to solve, and you're like, Eddie, what is that? Generally, when I'm doing a rinseless wash and I do a decon into a polish, I like to do a foam, let it stick. Since this wasn't super dirty, I wouldn't call it like gnarly dirty. You would do like a decontamination step. And usually you want to foam something on for that. So what I'm going to do differently is change my mind in the middle of the video. I'm going to put iron remover on the whole car. I'm going to let it sit for about 5 minutes. I'm going to spray it off. Then I'll go into frothy as my contact wash. But that way I can get a chemical decon on the whole paint. And go from there. But when I'm feeling the paint itself is not that contaminated, so I'm not super worried about it. I just want to do a good job to make sure that my coating adheres and I'm doing the process right. Iron from Geon, I'm gonna spray it on the surface. Like I said, the surface is cleansed. Like that soap does God's work. But I want to show you how Geon interacts with the paint, and then we'll go in and we'll do our contact wash and go from there. On. I will never do this with traditional iron remover because it will smell too much. And I just want to make sure that there's no contamination on the car itself. Any iron, any fallout. We're gonna let that sit. We're gonna spray it off, go in and do a contact wash with frothy. Frothy, diluted 20-to-1 like they said. We're gonna go panel by panel, and the goal is to do the scoop. So when you're doing frothy, you don't wanna wipe, you wanna scoop and try to induce the less marring because we're trying to protect the paint, right? I don't want to have to spend a lot of time polishing, and when I take the photos to send to him after this, you'll see that the paint has some pretty gnarly imperfections that we got to deal with. So we'll start with this section first. We'll get the glass, we'll clean it. We'll start with the bumper. I'm going to use a towel. I'm going to use a gray wolf towel just to wipe it off, and then we'll observe the paint together in a second. Grab your frothy. I always do some in here, and okay. Come on, spray out. There we go. Spray. I don't think I pumped it enough. You just want some on the paint for lubrication. You're like, Eddie, that's a horrible experience. I agree. I should have went with a contact wash, but we're here for it. And then we're gonna scoop. We're going to scoop. And then my goal is not to touch any sections. The cool thing about frothy, if it dries, you don't have to worry about it. It has a lot of lubrication. Flip my towel over. And then we'll finish it. Scoop and roll. Grab the other side, scoop and roll. Grab that side, hit that up, hit that up, hit that up. I'm going to tell you what I'm not gonna do. I'm not doing that, bro. Horrible. Like if I was doing it just to wash a car, I would. But I'm to the point where I just spent a lot of time washing it, and I feel like I'm making a mess. So Can you do it with ammo? Sure. What I'm gonna do with ammo is foam it up and do a contact wash. That's where dad's at. So let's foam this sucker up. When I get tired, I get annoyed, like not quick at you, but at myself. I'm like, I'm not gonna sit here and milk the cow for 45 minutes where I could just contact wash it, let it be and go into a polish. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. Let's do it. So I'm gonna mix some soap up here. Let's mix some soap. I'm not trolling you. Like, I gave up the ghost on this whole hybrid thing. This is real life. Sometimes I do this in videos. You're just seeing the raw me. I'm sitting here thinking, this is the dumbest thing I've ever done. We're gonna take one of my favorite soaps. We're gonna take NV Snow. We're gonna pour some in my foam cannon, about 2 or 3 ounces. I'm gonna put 1 ounce in my bucket. I already had the water pre-made because I wasn't feeling it today. And then we're gonna foam this bad boy on. We're gonna foam and we're gonna do a contact wash. I'm pretty pleased with how the car is right now, so I don't have to worry about scratching. And then we're gonna use a Dragon microfiber pad to clean it. And we'll do that live. So this is NV Snow. We're gonna foam it on and do our contact wash. I'm gonna take this, put that in my bucket. I'm gonna take the Huro Kamasha Naturo, and I'm gonna get to cleaning it. Sometimes you gotta change it up. Nice soft swipes, back and forth, straight lines is what you want. I'll be in the middle of doing a detail and I'll just switch it all up because I'm like, this ain't working for me. This car should not take this long to wash. Even for YouTube, I don't think it's worth it for you. It'll work. But that frothy was pissing me off. All right, so I'm gonna finish rinsing it. We're gonna come back, we're gonna inspect the paint, and we're gonna walk through how we're gonna correct this. Let's talk about how we're gonna do the interior because you're gonna get ceramics, and we'll go from there. Let's go. Real life. Me not wanting to do frothy after I already spent so much time foaming it on. I don't think that's a good mix to do a hybrid wash like that. Prove me wrong, show me a video. I think if you're gonna use frothy, use frothy. If you're gonna do a hybrid wash, it has to be a pure rinseless or some kind of rinseless that could spray on and not cause a bigger mess. So I had to do a contact wash at NB. I'm just being frank, this is just my experience. Your experience might be different. I'm not saying they're bad products, I'm just saying wasn't for me. You know what I mean? So I washed the car, I deconned the car. I clayed the car with the soap because I was able to do it after my contact wash. The paint looks amazing. So I wanna show you the paint from afar, but I want to show you the paint up close because there's some things to see here, and this is where gloss could be deceiving. So let me show you, because this one's the worst. Hopefully you can catch it on camera. It has a whole bunch of scratches here. See if you can see that here. If I tilt it right like that, you see that there's a whole bunch of scratches on that part from improper wash. There seems to be a bunch of it. So I'm gonna take pictures of those. The whole goal is to make sure I just cover myself and my customer so he doesn't feel like I charged him or did anything inappropriate, and I could just show him the condition of the paint as is. So open your Able up or use whatever app you want. I use your Able. I'll show you it here. We're going to hit start so he knows that I started. We're gonna hit. So when you're in your Able, you want to click on inspection. It'll take you here. You're gonna put his name or what this is. I usually put like after wash. I did do like a slight walk around with him so he knows the condition of his paint wasn't great. And then you wanna take a picture. You press that button and take a picture. And then I'll go around the car. I'll take the photos and I'll point it out so he knows there is deep scratches on some of these areas. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna go around the whole car. I'm gonna send this to him. We're gonna come back. We'll talk about how we intend to take this paint or what we're gonna use to correct it. I don't think it needs a lot. You don't wanna take a lot of clear off. So you wanna use something. I don't think anything at this time in life should be more than a 1 step, especially on newer cars, because the clear coat is so thin that we wanna preserve, not rock it. So I'm gonna take something and try to preserve it, but get as much as I can with a foam pad. And I'll show you some of my go-tos and why I like it after this. And then we'll go through, we'll clean the rims, coat the rims because he did pay for that. We'll coat the windshield after we polish, and then we'll talk about the next steps in this process. It's literally like 6 hours later. I washed the car, I deconned the car, I sent the picture to the customer. He approved it. I wanna go over how I'm gonna tackle this paint. We have Japanese paint. Generally, these types of paints are sensitive. So what I mean by that, they're softer paints. So you don't want to go with a hatchet to a steak. Does that make sense? You don't want to just go ham on it. You want to be very careful, and you want to preserve the integrity of the clear coat while also getting the results that the customer paid for. I'm gonna go over the 5. There's actually 6. There's DIY. I didn't take it out for this one, but I'm gonna go over what I would use or what I'm gonna test and what pad combo I typically go with for Japanese paint. Let's go here. So these are Shine Mate pads. You don't have to use those. My other favorite is the big pads from Lake Country. I go with orange or I go with maroon. I don't have maroon buff and shine pads for the 5-inch. I only have them for 6-inch, but I wanted to use 5-inch on this because it doesn't need that aggressive of a cut. So with maroon or an orange pad, the density of the foam for these are the same. So they're the same softness. So you don't have to be like, well, why is it cheaper? It's just foam is foam, right? It's just different manufacturers give you different shapes and the process of cutting is different. This one's a little more stouter, stiffer foam here. So you know, I usually use maroon with OP compound. So I'm gonna go with maroon first, just to get that extra bite. And I wanna show you the compounds that I typically would use, that I have been using for this. So we have NSP95. NSP95 is a great compound. It has nanotechnology in it, it's a nano primer. So generally what this means is you don't have to panel prep afterwards. I use that. The problem with this is the work time is kind of too long for me. I'm more of a slice it and dice it kind of guy. Angel Wax has been in my rotation for a very long time. Links in the description below for all these products, by the way. Some of it does help the channel, some of it doesn't help me at all, but Angel Wax right now, they make great compounds. The only flaw with this is it loves trim, so it's not trim safe. This one has been an up and coming that I've been used. I think I have this much left of this. Naziol 305. Their coating might not be my favorite of all time, but this is one of the best compounds I've ever used. And the 2 that I've been rotating with these are Rehab from PNS. This is actually a banger of a product. It smells real good too. And then if you haven't seen this company yet, I have about this much left. Got it at parkscarcare.com. This is Refinished, and this is Final Cut from CarTech. Safe on trim. It is a one-step monster. You have Soul as well. I have F601, and then I have some other ones that I could use, but these right now are the ones that I've been rotating through. So I'm gonna pick the one I think is gonna do the best, but generally for me, I know what works for what, but if you're doing a test and you have these compounds, I would go with your go-to first, which would probably be like the Orange Pad and probably Rehab, or Orange Pad and Clear Rub 305. If that doesn't work, I usually step up to Angel Wax Regeneration, or I step up to this right here to get what I want. So let's go look at the paint. I'll show you it. I just want to go over the process, how I think when I do a one step, especially with this car that I'm trying to get it close to perfect. So I'm gonna take my maroon pad, set it up here. I don't prime pad. I don't know. I don't think it's a waste of product, but I'm also not Kevin Brown or Mike Phillips or Ivan LaCroix. I just do me. Speed 3. Diminishing abrasive, you gotta work down. So you wanna work it in, do your correct passes. The compound is ready to come off. Easy wipe off. And then from here, I'll check with my light to see how much of it improved. And that improved a lot actually. And I think that is a little bit too aggressive in my opinion. So I know now, this is how I always start, right? I always start with this pad, and that seemed a little tad too aggressive for this paint. I want the best clarity, the best shine. So I'm gonna take my Shine Mate orange pad. You can take whatever orange pad you want. And I'm gonna switch up the compound to Rehab. And I'm gonna go to work. I could pat down, but I feel like this and PNS is gonna do a better job than this. And this is a great one. It's just this one has a little more finish with this pad that I like on this car. Almost, it's 100% corrected. And it did have swirls, it did have scratches, like somebody leaned on it. Like I said, paint is soft, but that's how I pick it. You could go with any of these and do it and get the same results. Those are the two that I start with. If it wasn't for PNS, I would go with 305 if it wasn't coming off. And if I'm gonna do a ceramic coating, which I am, I would do 95, but I want to keep this as pure as possible. Maybe use an matte polish because I might install hydro. I haven't decided yet what coating this is gonna get. It's gonna be a stout one though. I'm gonna go through, finish the rest of the car. But yeah, so far today we did this. We messed up the wash because it didn't work for me. I haven't slept good today. I came back, started polishing, found the right polish. I'm gonna get this side done. But I showed you like not every brand's gonna have a hybrid that you could use or is good. Maybe I didn't use it right. So you in chat, in the description, and in comments, tell me what I could have done better with ammo, because I thought like, man, Frothy was gonna come in clutch, but it was a lot messier than what I wanted. And I needed to really move fast because I have this car for a certain amount of time, right? So I thought it was gonna be more beneficial for me. It wasn't. If you have a lot of time, maybe that hybrid ammo would be great. Another day, another dot. No, I'm joking. Next day, we polished half the car last night. It was late when I started. I started this project around 6 o'clock, washed it on my lunch, started the project at 6. A couple things that I'm noticing is I had to switch it up. So let me show you what I'm using. I went back to rehab, and then for some sections, I was like, you know what? Let me see what NSP's 95 can do. So I did the rest with NSP 95. I'm gonna finish this whole section. The top, I went on the other side in a couple doors that I did. Went on the other side in a couple doors that I did with Angel Wax. I was like, you know what? Let me just use eraser, testing out eraser. Panel prep, let's use eraser, let's redo those sections. Because I didn't feel like I was getting the result I want. And like, Eddie, are you chasing perfection? No, I'm chasing scratch removal, plus I want the most gloss with the less steps, if that makes sense. So let me show you this section of the car here. Like I said, we have half of the car left, and then I'm gonna go take the marks off the wheels, coat the rims, coat the windows, and I'll start coating the outside. And then we're gonna work on the inside of the car and get some of the fabrics coated and the leather of the seats coated. We got it looking super glossy, like Eddie's new paint, but I'm telling you that the gloss is a little more intense here and on the back side. So I finished all this side here, finished the top, took all the scratches off. Now I have this side of the car left. Down here, I want to show you how much of the 95 you need, because it gets pretty chunky. Look at this. Do you see that? Looks like cottage cheese. Anything more than that you don't need. Also, when you're using this type of pad, you don't want to prime it or wash it in a pad washer, because it does have inorganic stuff in it. So it does have like ceramic and other stuff, or nano, whatever it is. So you want to make sure that you don't wash your pads like this. Use several pads and wash it afterwards. It doesn't clog your pads up. If you're asking that question, don't know if you were, but if you were, I just answered it. But let me show you this section of the car and we'll polish it together. So I never spread because I don't think that's necessary. But you want to see how NSP is a little thicker, and you want to work it in. So just take your time working it in. I should have done this with the small Shine Mate, but I didn't charge the batteries like an idiot. So that's enough to do this section, and you just want to take your time and work it in. And be slow about it. The slower the better, so you get the results you want. It actually cuts real good. It cuts real good, leaves behind ceramic. You do not have to panel prep afterwards. And when it gets smeary like that, and the wipe off is easy, that knows you have worked it in enough and you're good to go. All right, so I finished the car. I finished using the NSP 95. I went back and redid the sections that I did with the regular polish just so it's consistent. Car looks absolutely amazing. A couple things left to do. I gotta coat the rims. I am going to use dark side for my dressing, so it gets it that nice richness for a long time. For the glass, I'm gonna use a glass coating, but there's a glass coating that I'm using, that I'm testing with GL15 here. So this is Dr. Beasley's glass nano surface primer. I've used it in a lot of areas, or it was like the Tesla, I used it. It worked real good. This works real good. The only issue I have with this crap is it's hard to get off sometimes, just life. So if you overwork it, things of that nature, we're gonna do a 2x2 section here. We're going to test it, I'll show you how to use it. I'm gonna do this section first here. Again, you wanna shake the bottle, which I've been shaking vigorously for the last 30 minutes. You want to, a little goes a long way. Stuff is chunky. Look at that, oh. It's like you poo-poo. I'll put it in my details helper pocket that I paid for in my shorts. And then I go speed 4, and then we'll do a section together. And it will be just like you would polishing paint. Now, when you do glass, you want to treat it like paint. So I always clay bar, I always panel prep it. I didn't panel prep it for this because I'm using this. And then you want to cut it or clean it up is what this is doing. You gotta wipe it off. And this is the part I was telling you about. So it gets kind of hairy because it likes a low nap. So I got a low nap situation here. Make sure you put it. And then you want to go section by section so you don't miss it. And then wipe it off. I'm gonna let this sit until it hazes. So I'm gonna use this applicator. We're gonna pour it on. So I don't know when they're releasing this, but I'm really digging it. So what you do is you apply it, let it haze, and probably let it, just get the pad a little wet, and we're gonna go section by section. So you wanna wait until that's done. I'm gonna go grab some ripping rags while I'm waiting. Got a ripping rag and got a leveling towel here. And we're gonna let that do its thing for a little bit. And like I said, you can see how it's reacting on the glass. I take my first leveling towel, and I don't like to miss glass, so I take it very, very serious as I go section by section here. We applied the window coating. I have it sitting on the back and the sides. Waiting about 15 minutes. With that said, I'm gonna start prepping the rims for a ceramic coating. So I'm gonna use the eraser, been testing it. I'm an NV Clarity fan, okay? I'm just saying it. I use finger applicators, Kleins. They don't have to be Kleins. You can use auto fiber, you can use whatever you want. This is what I prefer. I don't know why, okay, I'm sorry. And then the ceramic coating I'm using for the wheel is NV Wheel. All right, let me show you the snippet. So, now what I want to do is just go in and make sure I go section by section. I'm using a ripping rag. Use whatever rag you want to use, because I toss these after I use them. So I go section by section. I make sure I go in between the lug nuts as well. And you can tell it's clean. There's not a lot of dirt coming off because I did clean these. And then we are going to finish her out. Okay. And then I'll go in. I'll do a spoke like that at a time. Get the face of it. Boop, 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 boop. Like, why don't you do wheels off? Because I don't. We can't tell you what ceramic coating we're putting on, but look how it makes the paint pop. Wanda, how's that ceramic coating? Is it easy to use?
Yeah, it's easy to take off too.
Look at that. So the gloss that it gives, the richness in the paint, you're like, all coatings do that. This has got a lot of gloss enhancers in it. Richness in the paint, putting a ceramic coating on all the plastics of the inside of the car. And she is using the only one that she likes, which is DIY interior ceramic. Here's what I got. I got a Boar's brush. I got it from the rag company. I paid for that. I got 2 towels. I got Pilot. I got Matte Restore. I'm gonna get Pilot. We're gonna use Pilot for this. And I'm gonna clean it first, and then I'm gonna use the Mat Restorer or Guff to bring these back. So let me show you here, so you see what I'm looking at. So, Pilot. These aren't that dirty, it's a newer car. I'm gonna use the brush I got from the rag company, and I'm just using the boar hairs brush because it's a little stiffer and can get inside of those. If I want more studs, or if you're worried about that, just spray it on the board itself. And I'll just go section by section and I'll clean this bad boy. I wouldn't do this with muddy tires. With muddy tires, I'll take it outside, I'll wash it, and let it sit. So I'm just trying to restore it to matte. And then I'll wipe it off. And then I'll take my Mat Restorer and I doused it. Now the Mat Restorer by itself is strong enough to just clean this mat. And then I'm gonna take it and then I'm gonna rub it in section by section. I'll let it dry out and then move on to the next. Look at this pretty car. I wanted to finish all the inside. All the ceramic coatings have been applied. All the door joints have been coated. Oh yeah. And this is Alcantara, so she did a good job putting it on and brushing it to bring back the fibers. You can see right here. Good job, child.
Thank you.
What was your experience on the car?
It's the car. It's good.
So we finished. She did the inside all by her lonesome. She applied the ceramic coating, half of the car by herself.
Yeah.
I did the rims, I did the washing, I did the polishing, I did the glass. And this customer's coming today at 5 because the coating we're using could just be sent. This cures fast. And then when I say it cures fast, we let it, I want to tell them about the coating.
It's really good. Am I allowed to say?
No, not the name.
Okay. Well, I don't know the name anyway, but
It cures
really
way
good.
fast. And then what we learned is it could get wet in an hour. So once it cures and you try to reapply the coating on top of it to reactivate on some high spots, it actually beads up, which is bananas. It's beautiful red. There's vermilion. There's no lights on it.
Oh, do you want to see the color?
Yeah.
Inside. This is the difference from
Yeah.
it. So this is what the color looked like, and then this is after the coating.
So
I don't know if you can see the
you
difference.
get
but in person-
difference in shades. So it did give it color depth, is what you're saying, the coating. It added extreme color depth. They'll be able to see that. And these are the tires.
Wow. That's a baseball.
So this is Eddie Cologne and this is
Wanda.
we want to thank you for watching. I hope you appreciate this kind of video. It was a little hard one because that hybrid wash from Ammo sucked. Not that the product sucked, just not my favorite situation. I'd rather.
If it sucked, then the product sucked.
She's on a different level of savagery. Her level of savagery it's larger than
Well,
mine.
if it's not easy to use, then
No, it was just foam on foam. You'll see the
What?
video. Yeah, it was.
I didn't.
I tried it. Friends, people who asked, I did it. It was not my favorite. I'd rather stick with the rinseless and the foam or just foam and a contact wash. So
Was it an in between? A both?
yeah, it was. We foamed it, right? We had foamed the car, and then what happened was I went back with Frothy, and Frothy's the foam.
I'm choking.
Oh. And we're gonna end it here. All right, with that, everything I've used is in the description below. It does help the channel. It does help the giveaways. Some of them are Amazon links. Some of them are other links. And you don't have to buy from me. I don't care. Buy for yourself wherever you want, wherever the cheapest is. And with that said, this is Eddie Cologne. This is Wanda. We're out.